Awesome. Alrighty. So I want to welcome Sian Young. It is Sian, right? I just
Yes,
say
it's
Sian.
Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sian is from the Center for Sustainable Actions. Obviously, you can see in the background the logo and the label, where sustainability meets real world impact. So Sian, I was looking at your LinkedIn, and I have to say there's a lot of stuff on there. It is a Sustainable Business Innovator, award-winning speaker, obviously the co-creator of the Center for Sustainable Action. But even though I have to say you've got a lot of titles and, kind of credentials behind you, when we first met, I have to say you are really one of the most warm, humble, and wonderful people that I've met and been able to just have an intro call with. So yes, so that to me is almost like always stands out above everything else, because you can really just see the fruits of the spirit. And your testimony blew my mind. So I'm excited for people to hear about that. And once again, another intro from Ian. So Ian Dibb at Wayfinder, like we say hi, and thank you again for another intro. But yeah, I'm just really excited for everyone to hear his story and how we kind of are together here today. So I would love for you just to introduce yourself. I want you to share some of like the pieces of that powerful testimony that you told me, and then kind of how that brought you then into this business world and the Center for Sustainable Action and whatever it is that you guys are doing there. So there's quite a lot, but I love this story so much.
Well, thank you. Yes, thanks for that introduction. And yes, my name is Sian Young, and you see all the accolades, the experience, the learning I've done, and the things I've achieved are phenomenal.
Yes.
And it's not by my will, it's not by my might, for sure. Because when you look at the budget we've got and the fact we're building a global changing ecosystem of business, you couldn't match it. You couldn't match it. You have to ask how are these doors opening? How just at the right time is all the money coming for you to go and take that opportunity? Like, how? And then so the how is obviously we're here because we both believe in God, right?
Yes.
And I never used to when I was a kid, and then my family really don't. And so then I ended up homeless for 7 years as a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Didn't believe in God, just thought, I got to survive. Sometimes I wanted to give up, but I did not find a program in my brain that said give up. Like, it's just not in my mind.
Wow, that's a strong mind.
There's no give up, right? And even so, homeless for 7 years, all that entailed. And then I'm just going to say pivotal points because it would take a long time.
Yeah.
But I remember one night I was 6 stone, I was emaciated, and I was in Dunfermline in Scotland. It was freezing, and I had been attacked so many times on the streets. Like, when I fell asleep, I woke up being attacked. And so I was so scared to sleep. So then I would take stimulants and stay up for sometimes 2 weeks in a row. So you'd be going into near psychosis.
Wow.
And you were hungry as well. And so I needed somewhere to rest, somewhere where I wouldn't be attacked. And so I found that there's a castle in Dunfermline. It's in a park, and there's a ruined part of it. And I thought, let me go see if I can get in the dungeons, because then nobody will come to the dungeons in the middle of the night and I won't be attacked. Maybe I'll get to rest, right?
Yeah.
And so I went down to the dungeons, and I remember holding the bars, and I couldn't get in. And I couldn't believe, like, I was locked outside the dungeon. I thought, is this how bad my life has gotten, that I can't even get in the dungeons to sleep, right? So there was a space, and there's a news report on this with STV, a Scottish news channel. There's a space, and it was like, you know how thick the castle walls are, and it was all broken down, and there was like this curved bit, who knows, maybe foxes slept there.
My gosh.
And I just said, okay, I'm gonna lie down here because it's all I got. And I was actually, it was the 90s, so I was in a shell suit, right? And I'm lying there in a shell suit in Scotland
Sian.
in winter, right? And I just passed out because I knew ain't nobody coming down here, right?
Yeah.
And then when I woke up, it's strange because of everything I was living. The first thing I thought was, oh my God, I'm still alive. I really didn't expect to wake up being 6 stone in a shell suit, freezing in
No.
Scotland, right?
No.
And then the next thing I done was I smelt kind of pee from where I was
Yes.
lying, and I was like, oh great, I have the sense of smell, you know?
Yes.
And so I just had to get myself up, keep going, because like I said, I couldn't find no give up program in my head.
That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and it's so funny how like God knows the beginning to the end, because then later I was interviewed on a news report because, you know, long story short, and I'll go back and forward, I
Yeah.
built my first business, and it became multi-award winning and helped over 5,000 women feel amazing about themselves.
Wow. Praise God. That's incredible.
It was a pole dancing fitness studio.
Yeah.
So I went from just not long after this experience, but time is a bit warped when you're on the streets. I went to a DOS house, like a sort of squat type house, and there was loads of like punks who would be like trusting the crust, mad music all the time.
Wow. Yeah.
But they gave me a bed, right? They gave me a fold out bed in the living room. So I lay on that, and by that time my stomach was bleeding. So I was being sick blood up to 10 times a day, diarrhea, blood. Like I was lying on this fold out bed, and I was smoking weed, and I was saying, like, if this is it, come on, God, just cut it.
Yeah.
You know, let's be done, because I didn't know how to stop it myself.
Yeah.
And life kept going on, no matter how mental it was.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm lying there, and out of nowhere, this figure comes over me, and it's a really tall young guy. And he was like, oh my God, Sian, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
And I was like, chilling.
Yeah.
And he
Gosh.
was my headmistress's son, right?
Don't.
Because one year my stepfather threw me on the streets at Christmas, and I literally was that kid who looked in the window and saw their family having Christmas, and I was outside.
No,
right?
Sian, that's
So painful.
horrible. That is so horrible.
His mum, my headmistress, invited me there for Christmas and made me a handmade little stocking, right? So that's what came into that like space where I was.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm coming back for you. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. I didn't even know if I'd be alive much longer, right?
No.
I was kind of hoping I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because I was suffering so much pain.
Yeah.
And he came back.
Wow.
He came back and he said, I've spoken to my flatmates. They're going to let you stay in our kitchen corner.
Wow.
So he took me to Edinburgh.
Yes.
Where I lived in between a fridge and the bathroom wall.
Yeah.
And I was still in so much pain. And I made it to La Boudoir, okay? I have a book as well out called Teenage Kicks by Sian Young, and it's called Hotel Paradiso chapter.
Yeah.
So basically I strung up these like nice Indian drapes, and I was like, welcome to my boudoir, okay? And while being sick blood and like half dead, you know, but I was like,
oh
okay.
My gosh.
I didn't die, so this is where I am. And so I slept there, and I watched them get ready, go to work, go partying at the weekend, go to work. And I was just kind of like looking like, is this life? And I thought, I'm not dead yet, so maybe I need to figure out actually how to live. Because all I'd seen like since a young age was street life.
Yeah.
Right? And so I started to figure it out, and then I got a doctor because I needed to stabilize my system. Right?
Yeah.
But I was still in a kitchen corner, so I still didn't really have anywhere to stay. And then they kind of helped me get a flat, right? Rented an apartment, just a room in a flat in Edinburgh. And the minute I signed that lease and lay in that bed, I collapsed. And I tried to walk, man. I kept falling down in the street. I couldn't even stand up. And at that point, I was probably around like 21.
Yes.
And I was like, my stomach was concaved in. I thought puking up blood every day was normal.
Normal, yeah.
Right? And then
That's
one
so
of the
crazy.
flat members said, "Do you know that's not normal?" And I
Mm.
was like, "Yeah, but nobody cares. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do about it?"
Yeah.
And I remember him giving me a cup of chamomile tea
Mm.
and saying, "I'm going to phone the doctor for you,"
Yeah.
you know? And I
Yeah.
often share that bit of the story because some people, they think, oh, it's too big, I can't do anything for it.
Mm.
But that cup of tea was like feeling like this flame of my heart that nearly gone out, go poof, and
That is
just
so.
flicker again,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And just as I was starting to stabilize, like starting to walk, the people who owned the flat sold it and I was back homeless again.
Yeah.
But a woman I had met across the road
Mm.
who was suffering from AIDS let me go and stay at her house.
Yeah.
And she said,
Shame, man.
she gave me, like, she said, come and just share my bed. You know, you shouldn't be on the
Wow.
streets, right? She was like, she
Yeah.
kind of adopted me like a street mum.
Oh.
And yeah, but she was suffering from AIDS and she used to do that, you know, stop breathing at night and stuff. And it was too stressful, man. I was like, I'm just going to sleep on the
Yeah.
couch. I
Yeah.
kept thinking she was dying in her sleep, you know?
Yeah.
So it was
Gosh.
like two broken people kind of just helping each other. And I'd found out at that point that my stomach was so torn up I couldn't eat wheat or dairy anymore. It was too much.
My
Um,
gosh.
It took a very, very long time to heal my insides
Yeah.
and be able to walk again
Yes.
and be able to kind of take part in life again.
Yeah.
And so, long time coming, I ended up having a son. I fell in love with the wrong person because he was as damaged as me. He'd experienced refugee situations in Mozambique, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of devastation. And he was a broken human being.
Yeah.
But when I actually fell pregnant, I just said, I have to change my life now.
Yeah.
This child cannot experience anything
You
I've
did.
experienced, right?
No.
So then I do things like, people would say, oh, I need some seamstress work done. And I'd be like, yeah, I can do that.
Yes.
And then I'd go and try and research how to do it and just do it.
Oh my gosh. I
I got,
love that. That's like
yeah,
really a winning mindset. You know, like you are a growth mindset. That's the word I'm looking for. Like you are willing to just
yeah,
learn and go for it. That's such a entrepreneurial strength of
yeah.
someone.
And it's something that holds people back. Like, I don't know how to do that. I'll never be good at that. Like, just let it
Yeah.
go, man. That's not even true. You're telling yourself a
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
You know, just
Exactly that.
start learning. You're going to be rubbish to start with, and then you're going to get better. And now
That's
I actually
right.
make a lot of clothes when I'm going to events.
I love
So,
that.
you know, who knew that I would be like tailoring clothes to
Yes.
wear to accelerators in Luxembourg, right? What?
Yes. Amongst the gazillion other things that you're doing, it's like, yeah, by the way, I'm just also making my dress to go to this award-winning event, you know. It's
I'm really into
incredible.
sustainability.
It's incredible. It's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
So, like, then I got to the stage where I was still in my sick bed. When I was in my sick bed, I watched a flower turn to see the sun. And then I had a vision of a center where people would take care of themselves,
Wow.
each other, and the planet, right?
Wow. Yes.
And I was like, I can't walk. What am I supposed to do with that, right? So
Yes.
that was back. Like I said, I'll go back and forward to what's relevant.
Of course, yeah.
And then I've got a business. And
Wow.
I kind of had a bit of like, I want to show you. I don't know who will show it.
Yes.
But basically go from bedridden, emaciated, mental health issues to advanced pole dancer, running a
Yeah.
multi-award winning business.
Yeah.
I was like, let's be having you. If I'm alive, I'm going to live,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And so I took it with that speed and that hunger, but I didn't take care of my health. So I ended up in hospital, burnout. So then I trained as a
Wow.
health coach to repair the burnout and repair my body.
Yeah.
So a lot of my training is specific to taking a human body from near death, move forward to advanced pole dancer, basically.
Yes. Wow.
So in that business, I was fighting, hustling, trying, achieving, but exhausted. And felt so alone. And
Yeah.
I was into alternative therapies, and I was trying to find that big hole that was in me.
Yeah.
And I became a Reiki master. I done loads of stuff, and it was really funny because God has a sense of humor, right?
He does. Oh gosh, he does. And I always thought that he's super serious, but I have learned he is pretty funny.
Yeah. So I had past regression, life therapy, and gong bath, right?
Oh my gosh.
And then went for a walk in the countryside, and I just heard this billowing voice in my head say, "Get to church." And I was like, I need to take my medication.
That's so
I'm hearing
random,
voices,
yeah.
right? And it kept going until the point I was like, okay, I'll go to church if you'll shut up, right?
Yes.
So I went to a church, and I went with crystals in my pocket to protect me from mad Christians, right?
Because we are so crazy.
Yeah, I was like, they're going to bash me with Bibles. That's all I've been taught about Christians, right?
Sprinkle the water on you. I don't know.
Like this. So I came prepared, and it was such a stale, boring, like, church meeting.
Yeah.
I felt no ground moving or nothing, and the biscuits were dry and the tea was overbrewed,
Yeah.
So I came out of church and I went, see, I'm not supposed to be in there.
No.
And then again, get to church. So I went to a real sort of Nigerian church.
Oh,
and they started talking and sort of like saying bad things about like an old white lady. And I came back out again. I said, see, I'm not supposed to be there. And then it came to my light, a connect group, like a little small connect group from another church. And so I went to the connect group, and I stayed there 2 years before I set foot in the church.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't trust these people. Let me see.
Like odd experiences. And
I can report nobody has ever beaten me with a Bible.
No.
Or sprayed water or condemned me for being a sinner.
No.
Right? They were just amazing people, and it was a couple of families, and they took me in and they just blessed me. And they supported me in the ways I needed at that point. And they held space for me to let God in.
Yes.
And the first time I set foot in church, I cried. And I cried for 3 months every time I set foot in church. And I was saying, God, man, I'm hardcore. I don't need cry in the streets. What are you doing?
I can relate. Yeah. It's just when you get into the presence, and it's like, and people almost think like, shame, she must be going through such a difficult time, or, something must be really wrong. And it's like, nothing's wrong. Like, it's just when God's presence comes in, it's like you just bawling your eyes out. It's like, it's just a thing. And I'm sure not every single person experiences the same, but I've heard a lot of people having the same experiences, just how they just get into that presence, and it just overwhelms you, just God's love.
Yeah, it does. And that peace that surpasses all understanding is true.
Yes.
You can try gong bass, bongas.
Yes.
You can try, many different things. But the only thing after the life that I just shared with you that has given me peace, I've never had antidepressants again, but also that is to do with the health initiatives I've taken as well, like your stomach, your microbiome, and restore myself. But the moment I realized I had a living father, he erased the pain of all the broken fathers that had been through my life and disturbed me.
Yes.
He said, okay, I can forgive them because the grace that God has given me, because they're broken too.
Yes.
And I don't know how anyone in his life does it without God now.
No.
Since, it's like in business, if you're doing it all yourself and you have no automation in the back of your business, you're tired.
Yeah.
You're tired, you make mistakes. It's hard to keep up a good profile if you have no strategy or automation in your business, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you don't have God in your life, you're doing it all yourself, and you are wide open. You have no protection.
Nothing.
You're like wide open in a breeze of all the things that fly at you, both spiritual and in life.
Yeah.
Which a lot of life stuff comes through spiritual.
Yes, exactly.
And since I surrendered, which was really hard because I was like, I'm not a sinner, I'm a good girl.
I'm a good person, yeah.
It took me ages to take that on board.
Yeah, the
But since I
surrender.
just submitted, I'm like, I always say, like, God finesses.
Yes.
He knows the beginning to the end. He knows what you need to learn to be who you need to be for where he's taking you.
Wow.
You know,
I
and
love
these
that.
lessons that come, it's so much more peaceful when you have an expert at the helm.
Yes.
That's like the whole automation system of your life. Like, you've
Yes.
got the
A
flow.
lifeline. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that.
Yeah.
It's so incredible. A couple of things that I noted down is just when you were talking about the mindset, just having that kind of mindset is quite rare. I don't know. I just feel that these days, even people that kind of come out of the really awesome backgrounds, and I was even listening to Ian's podcast he did with this other lady, Leslie or Lindsay, I can't remember the name, just that he's said so many people will just kind of put themselves down or just go like, no, I can't do it, or oh no, I'll never be that and I'll never do that. But you are essentially just programming your brain deeper and deeper pathways of how you're never going to do it and you're never going to achieve it and you're never going to be this or be that. Instead of speaking the word of God and speaking life and just going, no, but actually I can do that because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And it's just that privilege as a Christian to have literally heaven backing you, supernatural power. And like you were saying about your business journey and just how is this even possible? How are these doors opening? Where's the money? You don't even know how things are happening at the right time. They just are. And if you had to try and think about those things in the natural, you would almost like lose your mind because there would be so many moving parts to create the exact thing that's supposed to happen the way it happened by your natural strength. But by relying on God and He's doing all the moving of the puzzle pieces and bringing it all together, and it's happening, you're just kind of receiving and just being at rest. And it's like, it's a privilege and it's a blessing. And I think that's what unbelievers probably wouldn't know or understand when they're not there yet. But once you get there, it's like, wow, I can't even believe like how things are working out.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, when, say, for example, you're homeless and you're struggling with your illness and stuff, would the NHS actually help people, or is it more you would have to find some good-hearted people that will help you in your situation? Because I never know with the systems, don't you have to pay like an NI or something to be able to then get help? And with a doctor? Okay.
I fell through a lot of cracks.
Okay.
So I was put into a hostel by my stepfather when I was 15.
Okay.
He threw me out, but threw me into a hostel. And now, as I became my own guardian,
Yeah.
and then I got income off the government that then I had to pay for the hostel.
Right.
And I got a small amount each week for living costs, and I had to go to school. I remember because I'm my own guardian, I used to just say Sian was not at school because Sian was ill. Yours sincerely, Sian.
Yeah.
And just sign myself off school. I tried to get accommodation, and they said you have to be high on drugs or pregnant, or addicted to alcohol. And I said, well, I'm probably going to be high next time I see you because I'm not having a baby to get a flat. There was a lot of that time because of my age as well. There's a lot of girls taking their pregnant mates' pee to the doctor so they could get a flat.
Wow.
You know, yeah, it was very difficult to get any home.
Yes.
Yeah, so there was a lot of cracks in the system, but you know, if I had like serious something happen to me, I could go to an emergency center.
Okay.
You know, the NHS is doing the best they can, but in a world, I think where so many people are just so lost,
so many,
there is a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah.
That the NHS is doing what they can.
Yeah.
But there's many limitations. I mean, everything costs money, right?
Yes.
And when you're, I think homeless is a situation that could be fixed if the right people made the right moves.
Yeah.
I think last time I looked, which was a little while ago, there was 5-point-something million unoccupied homes and premises in the UK.
Really?
So.
Wow.
Some of them are somebody has died and they've not got the right will, so they don't know who to hand it to or that. So it's sat empty while someone's on the streets. Some of it is investment people have bought a whole building and nobody's in it.
No.
But there's people on the street. So to be honest, I actually said this to a Houses of Parliament member in Houses of Parliament.
Wow.
When Labour just came back in, they were saying, oh, we're going to build affordable housing. And I was like, last time you were in power, you said that and I was homeless.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you still haven't done it. But what if we used the reserves of housing that are already there and just change policy to allow them, if they've not been occupied for a set amount of time, then you make it places for homeless, right?
Yeah.
Or support more charities that are doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing about us being in a fallen world. There's a lot of people siphoning money off places and their heart doesn't even care the suffering at the end of the chain, you know?
Nothing.
So, I mean, I was on a podcast the other day and we talked about triangle questioning.
Yeah.
So there's, is it mine? Is it theirs? Is it God's?
Wow.
Like, I can't solve the homeless problem.
Yeah.
I can't. That's not the mission I've been given.
No.
Mine is to uplift entrepreneurs from every corner of the world and get them all to the table to talk about what sustainable process and change they need in their cultural context and where they're coming from, right? That's what we're building. We're going to democratize sustainable funding to uplift custodians of the earth and uplift those entrepreneurs that have big communities they impact.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
Yeah.
So that's why the homeless situation that could be solved, I would have to fight deep the sort of oligarch kind of areas of life.
Wow. Yes.
I don't have the power to do that.
Yeah.
It's not what God put me here to do. And if I try to do it, I will waste my energy and become sick and then become useless to what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then there's massive things that prey on my heart, like the way children are treated in the world.
Oh.
Now, if I question that, my responsibility is I'm a good mother, and any child other that's not even mine around me is safe in my presence, and I will back them up, right? That's mine.
Yeah.
What's theirs? There's an organization called Underground Railway, and they're SAS operatives who literally do SAS missions. I think last year they saved 5,000 children.
Wow.
That's theirs, because that's their mission. They came and they are driven, and they have the skills and the technology and the ability to go in and extract.
Get them out,
Yeah, I can't do that.
No.
And then what is God's is the whole situation of how his children are being treated. And that is what I have to hand to God, because it's too deep. It would drain me every day.
Oh, gosh.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I think people who are like, oh, I can't do that, it's no good, I'm like this, and sort of talking down on themselves, they have to remember they were beautifully and wonderfully made. They were perfectly made for what God wants them to do. And it might not be like a role that's leadership, you know. I was in a meeting at the Houses of Parliament where we saw lots of leaders from countries like Iran, Palestine, Uzbekistan, all Moldavia, and I saw the pain of leadership on their faces and their shoulders.
Wow.
They had been given a role that was great, to try and save their people in a whole country of people.
Yes.
And I saw the burden on their shoulders and I saw the exhaustion. So big, massive roles like that are not for everyone.
No.
You know, but sometimes just being the best mum you could ever be.
Mission,
have a little human being there that could be someone who's going to change the world.
That's right.
If they're getting beaten up and disrespected and, you know, treated bad and then thrown out on the streets, how are they supposed to be?
Absolutely.
What God, and you were maybe meant to be but their mum.
Yes.
And their dad.
Yes.
And you were supposed to keep love together.
Yes.
And in marriage, like, I think if you don't have God in the middle, and you don't have grace of God in your heart, I don't know how people stay married.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's all them conversations, they're so like God finesses, beginning to the end.
Yes.
You know, he was trying to get me ready for the arrival of my husband.
Yeah.
I'd been saying, I want a good man.
Yeah.
Right? I know I'm going to have a good man. I'd always said that. Yeah. But then if I wasn't ready for the time he came, then I would have missed him. And then there's a lot of now our businesses, we're co-founders together. You know, the ecosystem we're building, his skills and my skills, they marry so well to build the ecosystem we're building. And I know I couldn't do it with him and he can do it with me.
Yeah.
Without me, sorry.
Yeah.
So that was something that God had planned, even to the point of me having our daughter.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
this wonderful child who's telling me at 6 years old she wants to be a coder and is a published author already.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's incredible. And I think it's also that sometimes, I think I said it on another podcast, it's like people that do have I think everyone's got like a really important plan in God's kingdom and, you know, a calling and things like that. And the enemy knows exactly what that looks like. So he will come after the children, target them first so that they cannot progress into those. Because the family dynamic and the family unit is such a target for the enemy. Like all he does is just comes and just causes strife, causes issues, causes, you know, whatever it may be. Like, you know, I didn't talk to you about it. It was someone else about even my daughter at school, and like now she's gotten herself in a weird situation where she's being bullied, and I'm like, this is spiritual. I just can't see this as being natural. And it's just making sure that at home she understands who she is in Christ. She understands she's got, you know, heaven backing her, like she's got protection, she's blessed, she's favored, like all these things, making sure those pathways in her brain is strengthened for her to know who she is, so that when those storms come, which it will, it's not like it is going to go away in life, you'll always face these sorts of things, that she will be able to withstand that and just be grounded in God's word and just the love that he has for her, instead of, oh my gosh, like they said something bad about me, like maybe I am like that. I don't want her to ever think that and just be, no, I'm not that person. I'm only what God says I am. And also when you were talking about, you know, meeting your husband and things like that, it is true that a lot of times it doesn't matter, I suppose, in what circumstance it is, but we will always go like, I want. But do you ever think about what it is that you need to do yourself? Like sometimes there's actually a change that you need within yourself to be able to have what you want, or to have the marriage you want, or to have maybe the job you want, or whatever it is. Because I think our natural tendency is always about like me, and I want, and, you know, but if you look at the bigger picture, it always comes back to, what do I need to change to be able to adapt to the situation or the marriage or the job or whatever? Like, how am I supposed to serve and give and love instead of receive and get and just, you know, hoard everything for yourself? So I love that one. But I suppose the other thing that stood out to me is, you know, like when you were in this very dark time, just having those people that like arrive and they are the ones that show kindness and show love to you. At that stage you were still an atheist, right? So you didn't really even, were those people Christians, or were they just really kind people?
I have no idea.
Okay, so it's just
I have no idea. But what I do remember is looking back to that time, I was curled up in my shell suit.
Oh my gosh.
And I just think that there must have been angels over me that stopped me freezing to death.
Yes.
You know, and it has been a kind of conversation I've had with God. It was like, he knows you. Like, even if you don't believe God right now, like he knows you, he wants you, he loves you. But it is this free will thing. Everybody's just like, oh, if there's a God, why doesn't he do this? And then that's taken away your free will and your responsibility to grow as a human being, to get in the position that he needs you to be, to live what is there for you. And it's never bad.
No.
He wants to prosper you.
Yes.
You know, and I play like abide music at my bedtime, which is like scripture and relaxation.
I love that,
And I fell asleep and I woke up in the middle of the night to that scripture that my plans are to prosper you. You know?
I love that.
And I've been brought to that, and I'm trying to read the Bible. I don't do it every day, but I do it most days.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that when I stray away from just keeping that continuous conversation going on, that's when things affect me more.
I agree.
It's like you're out in the cold.
Yes.
Honestly,
And it's you. It's never, God is never moving away. You're the one moving away. So
yeah,
if you don't make the time to spend it with Him and be in fellowship and, just His presence, it's almost like a little flower fading or something. You just feel
yeah,
very dry or cold, or I don't know how to put it. Like if you're constantly in dialogue with God and have that fellowship or just listen to worship music or whatever it is, and it's not about works, it's not about how much we're doing and I've ticked my box and today I've spent 5 hours praying and this, because I think
yeah,
that's
no,
a
no.
misconception of a lot of people, is
Yeah,
that, oh, but I must be doing all these things. I'm like, well, no, that's like religious works. The Pharisees, it's all about the relationship with Him. It is like literally seeing someone beside you all day long. Like, are you just going to ignore them, or are you actually going to talk to them and ask them questions about your life, your work, your anything, really? Like, He loves to be involved in anything that you are busy with and your life decisions and things like that.
and when it comes to family, He really does love to see a family being well together,
Yes.
being at peace together. I remember really sensing His presence when I was with my husband and my daughter, and we were just having fun.
Yes.
And I felt the great peace that He got from seeing that.
Yeah.
Because especially He knows where I've come from and what I've been through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this world tries to definitely take you away from that idea. And He being like keeping the commandments and stuff, like they're pretty simple commandments.
Yeah.
If you're not like kind of off the scale anyway.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really be doing most stuff.
No.
It's not difficult, apart from my tongue. I've been getting lots of like, watch your tongue, because of where the words come from, especially coming from the streets and Fife.
Yes.
There's a deep training. I call it my swear door.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I take care of myself and have my well-being tight, then it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But these are the things that people could even test it if they don't believe in God. Then I've seen my daughter stressing about a nightmare and saying, can you pray for me? We have a nightmare prayer where we pray for God to bind and banish any evil spirits. And it actually brings major peace in the room. Incredible. And then she sleeps all night, to the point that sometimes she's like, I feel like I'm going to have another bad night's sleep. Can we pray?
Yeah. That's incredible. And just taking authority in Christ, and and I think that comes obviously from knowing your identity and knowing who God is, how much He loves you, and just revelation. And that then helps you to really understand that you don't have to always just accept things in life. And I'm not sure for example, in the UK, because some people will almost think that homeless people in the UK are so privileged. They're like, oh, well, they've got an iPhone and they've got a sleeping bag and they should be fine. But I don't think people kind of comprehend that actually it's really rough. Like, you can't. And there's a lot of homeless people in London.
What they don't comprehend is that person sitting in front of you may have been to hell and back.
Yes.
They may have been trafficked.
Yes.
They may have been like given no resources and kicked out as a teenager.
That's right.
There's so many reasons. Like, some people end up homeless because their family got wiped out in a car accident and they broke.
Oh gosh.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
This is the grace thing. And it's like, another way is you've got to be grateful, and you've got to just give grace. I mean, like I said, I saw the ex-leader of Palestine talking.
Wow.
And I wanted to go up and just pray for all of these leaders.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you look at your life, and like, it's not easy being an entrepreneur. It's not, the bootstrapping life is mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you stop and say, I've got love in my life, or if you don't have love in your life, stop focusing on your navel and get out there and volunteer, do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're looking at your belly button, there's not going to be love. There's just going to be fluff there.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And that's what I was actually trying to say earlier.
Stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if probably would do like some homeless, I always just see the videos of them going and in Los Angeles with that crazy homeless issue that they've got there.
Mm-hmm.
People going and evangelizing and praying and helping them. But does the UK, I mean, where you live, do you see that kind of thing as quite common, or
No,
not
I often think
really?
if it's a bit different in different countries because
Right,
weather-wise. Like
right.
if it's warm weather, then it's more out. If it's like cold, then they're trying to hide somewhere not to freeze to death, you know?
Right,
And
yes.
and like I said, I think the homeless situation is an issue of abused, broken people,
Yeah,
people lost, wandering. And you know what? I always think you look at that person and instead of judging them, think how phenomenal they could be
absolutely.
with support.
Yes,
And some of them don't want support because they're so beaten they don't trust anyone.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Especially women, it's quite tricky being a woman on the streets.
yeah.
So, yeah,
And
don't
yeah,
judge until you look in the mirror and check,
absolutely.
are you perfect? You got
That's
all your
right.
ducks in a row?
And asking the right questions and actually understanding everything instead of just assuming or judging, because I think people just jump to conclusions and, oh well, they're just fine because they have a sleeping bag and they've got an iPhone, so they must be happy. I'm like, come
Yeah, I would
on,
say to
you
them, okay, so
can't.
tonight, you and I, let's get a sleeping bag and a phone and lie on the
Oh,
streets.
gosh, so
Let's see
cold.
how fine it
Can't
feels, you
even
know?
camp in the backyard. Like in just
Yeah.
summer, the night gets so cold, and then my child is and husband's back in the house at like 3, 4 a.m. They're like, yo, that wasn't a good idea. I'm like, I
But
told you
imagine
so.
if they changed their gaze and they looked at the five odd, I can't remember the figure, the amount of unoccupied premises. What if they looked at that and said, right, okay, I think I'm going to try and change policy around this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have someone at a cooperative who helps homeless people mentally recover from trauma and then get back into normal
Oh,
life
that's
by
awesome.
giving them a place to stay.
Wow, that's
Right?
awesome.
So instead of judging, why don't you say, right, what resources do
Bring a
I have?
solution.
How
Yeah.
could maybe I could research into it exactly why all these properties are empty and there's homeless people on the street?
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
it's easy to just blame a defenseless person there.
That's
And yeah,
right.
maybe they mashed up and broken so many stuff that they ended up on the streets. But what happened to the child?
That's right. Because it come from hurt. Always that those behaviors will come from a hurt place.
Nobody acts out crazy if they've been given stable love and they have a home.
Yes.
You know, I always say, like, if we just treated our children well, we'd clear the world's ills.
That's so true.
Because, you know, a few generations,
Yeah.
you'd have balanced human beings.
That's right.
If
Yeah.
they were taught love, grace, kindness, how to behave in the right way. Oh my God, is that what the Bible teaches us?
Yes. Exactly. And they're like, wow, shocked. It's a bit like with TLG where Steph, they've got obviously work with children and coaching in the schools and stuff. It's just awesome that they get in early and help those kids that otherwise wouldn't have any support, and then help through the church, then help coach people that have is equipped and they've got the skills to go and help train them up in things. And I think it's the same for us as kingdom entrepreneurs. You know, you are running a business as either a kingdom business or you are just a Christian running a business. But I think it's what Ian was saying as well. It's like, well, what is the purpose behind that? Like, are you mission led a bit, or purpose led, I think is what he calls it, where you know, you're not just working just to kind of earning and kind of, you know, oh well, I just want to be a billionaire, but you are doing it for either advancing God's kingdom or making a difference and an impact in the world. And that's what's really important, is that you kind of make that difference, because some people are just not wired the same way. They'll just be like, well, I just want to make a hell of a lot of money and just, you know, retire early and just enjoy my life, kind of turning a
also
blind
different
eye.
cultures. That's
Yeah,
why the Centre for Sustainable Action wants and has a very diverse table of entrepreneurs,
that's incredible.
because they have different faiths.
Yeah,
You know, we all bring that to the table. We bring
yeah,
different cultural understandings,
yeah,
different environments, and the environmental climate issues are affecting every one of them in different ways,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So they get to expand their reach to their community.
yeah.
And so we'll have an impact report coming out this year.
Wow.
of the impact we've had thus far.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful to have been found by Christ. I always love that song, The Devil Lost Another One, because I am
I
free.
love that song. Oh, I love it.
I'm just like, he tried so hard to keep me.
Yes, exactly.
When I came to Christ, I had a bathroom went on fire. I don't want to scare people, but it was my life just went like.
That's incredible.
And now I know I've seen evil. I know that the God's the winning team.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And he protects me. He doesn't try and manipulate me into, oh, I'm so depressed. When you're like this, and navel gazing, you are not being all you can be.
Living in the fullness of what he's got for you. I think there was actually my one leader was sending something on day 2 because we're doing the 21-day fast on gratitude, and just about just entering into his gates with thanksgiving was the one verse, and what was the other one? Just as you have been taught, abounding in it with thanksgiving, just coming back to reflecting on what is it, how far you've come, what God has done for you, and what he keeps doing. And just if you even just look at just with an attitude of gratitude and thankfulness, your whole mindset can even shift just with something as basic as that. I mean, even secular people do, let's do a gratitude journal. And I think sometimes some things might also go into the little new age route. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about just the gratitude and thankfulness for what God has done for you in your life, and how he is sustaining you and opening doors and blessing you, and just every day waking up going, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, I love this life.
I have a challenge for your listeners. If you are in a place where you are like, oh, I can't be that, oh my God, I couldn't stand up and do that, or oh, I don't want to go there, right?
Yeah.
I want to challenge you. If you've believed them lies for long enough, how about you just tell yourself, I can do it. There's nothing holding me back.
As basic as that,
and believe that. It is a truth, but you could just tell yourself a good lie instead of a bad lie.
That's right.
And choose to believe the good one.
Yes.
Right? When I was like mentally struggling with PTSD and depression after coming off the streets and just being a bounced about human, I remember sometimes to get me out the house, I would go for one potato. I'd be like, I need a potato. I'm going to have a potato for dinner. So I will go out to the shops for a potato. Everything was potato.
Yes.
And when I went out the door, I wasn't thinking about anything else but potato. And then I went and I bought a potato. But then I got out.
That's incredible.
So take the step.
Yeah.
So you believe, no, I am beautiful.
Yeah. Just one.
Yeah, because life hurts people.
Yeah.
My daughter, I always say to her, I was like, oh my goodness, how did you get to be so beautiful?
Yes,
like God made me that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
oh my gosh, I
yourself.
Wish my one could meet yours. I feel like they'll be taking over the world together, honestly.
I think so.
Anyway, talking about our daughters, I know we have to go for school runs.
Yeah, we gotta run. Mothers on the run.
Yeah, but just Sian, thank you so much. This was awesome. I just absolutely love your testimony. How can people get in touch with you for
I'm
whatever?
On LinkedIn.
Okay.
Sian Young.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, that would be Sian Young CHC.
Yeah.
There's qualified health coach, basically.
Awesome. Yeah.
On LinkedIn. So come and see me there, and you
Amazing.
can also look at my awesome profile.
Honestly,
like
yes, yes, and invite her, even as a keynote speaker. I feel maybe in the future there might be an opportunity for you to come to something that I'm busy with. So I will WhatsApp you.
Okay, I'd love to get excited, but the bell has gone.
We gotta go.
3 o'clock.
It's 3. Okay. Bye,
okay.
Sian.
Bye. Nice to see you.
Bye.